We're back. We're back.
What's up, guys? It's your girl, Nat.
It's Nia, and welcome back to Full Figured.
I know y'all were thinking we quit, we disappeared, we stopped what we were doing, but we were always thinking of you guys, always had the episodes in mind, editing notes, not like all the time, but sometimes. But we had full intentions of coming back. It's just been a lot.
It's been hectic. First of all, our schedules haven't lined up whatsoever.
At all.
We've just been, within the last couple of months or so, it's just been super busy at the hotel and with her schedule, and she's always vacationing and going here, there, and everywhere.
Okay.
That is hard. It's hard to find some time. I'm like, hey, Natalie, would you think you want to, take some time out of your busy schedule to just record? She's like, no, it's okay. I'm in fucking Mexico right now. So, okay, cool.
Okay, like I had a wedding fucking galore in the fall, and then I have a second job, as you guys know from, I think, when was the last time we let out an episode? August?
No.
Yeah, I don't know. It's been a long time. So, yeah, I always say I'm sorry, but I really truly am. I'm just like, traveling the world and stuff. Not really. I just was in like Connecticut and then Mexico one time. It was one
And she was
time.
gone for like a month. And I was like, oh, has anyone seen Natalie? Like, do I need to put out like a missing case or like she's got abducted or something? No, she's just, living life, having fun in a different country. It's fine. It's fine. We're glad you're back.
Thank you. I'm glad to be back. Yeah, I missed you guys.
Mm-hmm. Well, just to let you know, we have a lot that we want to talk about with y'all. We have a few episodes worth of content that we're going to put out for you. We're going to try to be back on a regular schedule. And I've said that like the last 2 times that we've recorded.
I'm going to put into fruition, we will be back.
Yes. We're going to be back on a regular schedule so that we can push out more episodes this year, because honestly, we're coming up on a year that this podcast has been out. And so, on top of that, we also want to do something for y'all that, have helped make this dream into reality. So look out for that sometime in February. I'm going to do something special for y'all. And so, we're just going to put that out there. The first thing that I want to talk about is the competition that I was just in. So first of all, thank you for everyone that was constantly voting in this competition. The Bar Boss competition, I didn't expect for it to go on as long as it has. So it started in the first week of November.
Yeah.
And, me thinking, oh, this is going to be like a quick little bar competition. I went into it knowing nothing. Our friend was like, hey, you should get into this competition. And, I was like, okay, cool. Then I read what the guidelines were, and I realized it was like a popularity contest. I was like, man, it's literally just you're putting in votes, and people can pay to vote on top of that. And so you start out in a group. It's called group phase. And so they put 50 bartenders into each group. And you don't know how many groups there are until you go on to, there's like a little tab that said browse. There's like 500 groups in this competition. In 500 groups, there's over 50 bartenders.
Were you the only one able to see that, or could we?
I didn't realize that you could see it. If you pressed browse, you could see all the different groups that were in the competition. So you just keep scrolling. You realize there's like 500 different groups. Within these groups, there's 50 plus bartenders. So that's over like 27,000 people in this competition that started out. And so every week, they're eliminating maybe like 5 bartenders. So at first, the first week that it went on, it started out with the 50 bartenders and they cut it down to the top 20. And then after the top 20, they eliminated 5 more bartenders. And that's every single week. So it was just a long process of asking people to vote every single day. And At first, it's okay because it's like, oh, this is something like I want to support you, so I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to vote for you. But then you see that same person is doing it every day, every week. It's just like, okay, I voted for you last week, and now you're asking me for votes again. So it was an exhausting process, and it got to the point where I was tired of asking for votes.
Yeah.
Because it's like I don't want to keep pestering people to vote for me. That's why it's like if I'm going to do a competition that's based off of me bartending, that's one thing. But if it's just a popularity vote, I'm not really about that, because in reality, you can have zero experience behind a bar. You can you can have zero experience behind a bar and have never, made a cocktail in your life. But if you're attractive,
Yep.
if you have someone that's willing to put in a lot of votes for you,
Big titties.
Exactly. And I've seen
Big
a lot
titties,
of that.
little waist,
I
girl.
have seen
Yes.
a lot of that in this
Mhm.
competition. You
Yeah.
could easily win.
Like, that's it. Big titties, little waist, fucking plastic all up in your face. No disrespect, but you got the following on Instagram, you're gonna get
Exactly.
it. Let me show you my skills,
Mhm.
not what I look like.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And
that was fucked up.
that's what I don't like about this competition, is
Mhm.
that it's just a giant popularity vote. And at first, when it was in group phase, I got all the way up to first place, and I kept it up until the quarterfinals. And then when you get into the quarterfinals, they put you in a group of, I think it was maybe 15 bartenders, and you have 10 days to get to first place. But when you're in the quarterfinals, you're having the same people that
Yeah.
are pretty much doing the same thing that y'all are doing.
Mhm.
And once again, it just feels like a giant popularity vote.
Yep.
And then on top of that, you get to the 2-for-1 days. So the entire Bar Boss competition was put on by Dos Hombres, which is the mezcal by the actors in Breaking Bad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And the whole thing was pretty much a fundraiser as well for the Kind campaign, which is to help stop bullying against little girls. And so the donations that you put in equaled the same amount of votes that went towards that bartender. So when you had the 2-for-1 days, if you put in $25, it doubles it and makes it 50 votes. So the $25 goes towards the donation, and the 50 votes goes towards the bartender. And so you see on those 2-for-1 days in the quarterfinals, everybody is getting votes. Everybody is getting everyone to vote on the 2-for-1 days. And so another thing that I wasn't really cool with was that the votes that you had during the group phase don't go into the quarterfinals. So those votes pretty much don't even matter. It's like, hey, you gave us your money, cool. You supported this campaign. Now you got to start over again. That's why I was like,
So you just have to keep paying.
Yep.
Because I was doing every day, I was refreshing for the free votes because girl's poor as fuck. But I was like, I had my friends here refreshing who don't even know Nia and stuff. And then it's like, you have 8 more hours to vote. And it's like, but it's a new day.
Yeah.
So why? Like, because, I'm up early in the morning. So then I would like vote when I was at work at 4 in the morning. And then I'm like trying to vote the next day at 4 in the morning. And it's like, you have a half hour. I'm like, why the fuck does it matter? I mean, I did anyway, but like, why the fuck does it matter? And I was under the impression that I knew it started really early and there were these groups. But I remember when I first started, I was like, oh, there's some people I know from Connecticut on the Bar Boss thing.
Mm-hmm.
And you were like, oh, yeah, they're in different groups than me. Because I was like, how are they in first and how are you in first? Like,
Right.
I was confused. And then there was like the whole group thing. And then I thought the end of it, I thought the winner of the whole thing was getting announced on Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
That's what, like, there was this countdown for Christmas, and you were like first, you were like really ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there wasn't even like a question. And then all of a sudden, it was just gone. And then, like, I was like, okay, so they announced the winner. And then it was like, you kept posting, vote for me. And I'm like, I thought it was over. Like, that was nuts. And yeah, people just, it's really like how much of a following you have on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I've talked about it before. That's how you get a job on Broadway. you either know somebody or you have a huge following. Because I remember I applied for jobs on Broadway, and the first thing on the application was, what's your Instagram handle? And I was already like,
Yeah.
not gonna happen. Just not gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's fucked up. I mean, yeah, of course they're gonna have competitions like that, but it's like you should value a skill more. Like you had the best cocktail in Nashville that we had at the bar. Like you won a competition with the cocktail you made. I mean, I know we can't virtually drink your cocktail, but let's talk about stuff like that.
Right.
Let's make videos of like you competing or you making these things like more technical, not like, I don't know. It's just wild to me.
Yeah, those are the only competitions up like now until I stop bartending. Those are the only kind of competitions that I want to be involved in.
Yeah.
Popularity things, count me out, because this was just like very stressful in order for me to, you know, sort of keep my place in the competition. I don't want to have to constantly ask y'all for votes. It's just like not something that I want to do anymore. I want there to be fixed judges.
Yep.
Where these are people that are experienced in the business and they're judging your cocktail based off of your skill set, you know, what you put into the cocktail and so on and so forth. So it was a good experience. I'll say that. I enjoyed it for the most part, but I won't be doing it again.
Yeah. Well, congratulations for getting as far as you did.
Thank you.
So we are going to talk about drinking while working versus working sober. So we're going to talk about a little bit about the pros and cons of both and which we like better and what the people like better. So I know for a fact I don't really drink on the job anymore. Back in Connecticut, I was behind the bar drunk as fuck because all my friends were coming to see me on a Saturday night. I was unwell, but well, because I am so much more personable when I'm drinking on the job. I don't like drinking or working like that because I feel like I'm just not as responsible. I'm not as cleanly. Like, I don't really care as much. Of course, like, if you think of yourself wasted versus sober, like, what part of yourself do you like better? But I am so much nicer. I'm a lot more charming when I'm drinking. When I am up from working super early in the morning and then in the bar, that's what I experienced this year versus last year because I didn't have 2 jobs last year. I am a fucking bitch. I am an asshole. And I was like, I need to feel something because these people hate me and I'm trying to get good reviews.
Yeah.
But I don't know. How do you feel about it?
I don't know because I don't want to be like self-incriminating, but at the same time, when I drink, same thing. Like I'm in a better mood. Like if I have like a quick shot before I go into this shift, yeah, you're gonna get the best version of me behind the bar. Like I'm gonna be so nice with you. Like I'm gonna be like in a bubbly, better mood. You know, I still try to go into the shift sober, but I don't know what it is when it comes to like being sober and working and with all these guests and they're, you know, coming into the bar in the state that they are, you know, kind of lit, and it's like you can't match their energy when you're sober. I have little patience.
Very little.
I don't know what it is. Like I do have to have like, if not a shot, then I need to like down a Red Bull or something, or like I need to like have a shot of espresso, something. I can't go into it with like little energy, or you're just not gonna get the best version of me.
No,
I can't. Yeah,
I will be bad vibes.
Yeah,
bad vibe central. I just remember one time like drinking behind the bar, and I was like, you know, party central, and then I came in the next week, and this group of girls came in. And they're like, oh my gosh, are you okay? You're not yourself. And I'm like, yeah, I'm fucking sober. So if that's not myself, then yeah, I'm not myself because I am just a lot funnier, a lot better, a
Mm-hmm.
lot nicer, and I'm just ready to party.
Yeah, I mean, there was a time at the hotel when it was kind of a safe place where it was like, if you want to, you know, like have a shot before work, you want to go over to, you know, one of the other bars and come back. Safe place. Like if a customer wants to buy you a shot, you can take a shot with them.
Mm-hmm.
But then there were people that started abusing that power.
Oh, yes.
And then we lost all the ability to do so. And so I just remember when it was a safe place and, you know, we were able to have a little bit of that freedom. It was so much fun to
So
just
much
like
fun.
work behind the bar, and you know, it was fun like engaging with guests, and that's probably when we had the best reviews
Yeah.
for our bars. So it's like it's fun when you do have that aspect, when it is you're able to have a little bit of freedom. But having me come into work sober when you work behind a bar, it's just difficult because like I said, it's hard to match that same energy
Yeah.
as the guest. There was one time I was working in the speakeasy, and me and my other coworker we had a couple shots with some guests, and you know, I was actually doing table touches. And I don't do that. I don't go up to like tables and be like, "Hey, how are you doing?"
Yeah, hell
you know.
no.
But for some reason, like having a couple shots and just like the fun environment, like we're playing our own music. I was going up to every table. I'm like, "Hey, how are y'all doing?
Yeah.
Y'all doing okay? Do you need anything?" You know, it's just like it's a little bit of a different vibe, especially if you know that you can handle your liquor well.
Yes, that's the key point, because it's also stressful when you are a bartender drinking and you know, like, say Nia and I are behind the bar. I know that her and I are going to be fine. Like, if we had a couple shots, we're drinking, we're good. Like, I'm not going to be blacked out and doing heinous, stupid shit.
Right.
I know Nia's not either. But when you're working with people that you can't trust with liquor in them, like, they may be a great person outside of the bar, outside of work, whatever. But when you're with those people that you know you can't trust, I know that I need to now reserve a little bit more of myself to almost look out for you and what you're doing.
Yeah.
So that was a stressful part for, I know, us with certain people in our job.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it depends, like, who you vibe with and work with, too. Because if you work with someone you hate and you're just drinking, that's also not a good time. I'm like, let me take this drink because I fucking hate this person.
Yeah.
And then it's not good. But I'm actually cool with everybody at this bar, which is so rare. It's growing.
I think right now we're in like a very good place when it comes to the bar
Yes.
staff. I feel kind of close with everyone just because everyone is like very responsible. Everyone's really, really good at what they do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think we're in a really good place.
I
And you
agree.
know, it takes a minute to get to that point, because when you have new people that come in and say there's someone putting, you know, sort of like a bad taste in their mouth about the other members of the bar staff, then it's like, okay, they sort of like tread lightly. They're not excited to work with that person. Yep. Because that happened, you know, in one of
that me. I was the one spreading shit because I was not fucking happy, and I am that bitch.
Nah, it wasn't even you. It was like, so in one of the last episodes, we were talking about how, like, when it comes to like certain managers,
yes,
they can sort of like spread some bad information about, you know, some of the members on their staff, especially when they don't like them. So I can say there was a new bartender that we just started working with, and she was told some bad information about me when she first started. So this manager was saying, watch out for Nia. She has a bad attitude. She is kind of difficult to work with. So just watch out for her. And so she was told this information. And so before she started working with me, she was like, okay, I don't know how to feel about Nia, like, since I've just been given all this information about her. And so we had our first shift together. And so we weren't really like talking to each other, like we're communicating, but not like, you know, on like a personable level. And so I started like having conversations with her behind the bar. She saw like, you know, sort of my skill set. Like she was able to match that too. And so I started joking around with her, just trying to like make her more comfortable. And she was like, do you want to like go get a drink after work? I'm like, yeah, absolutely. So we went and we got a drink and we're just chilling. You know, I'm showing her around. And she was like, honestly, like you are so cool. Like I wasn't expecting, you know, for you to be this cool because of what the manager said about you. And I was like, y'all are going out of your way to spread misinformation about someone that doesn't cause any problems to anyone. And it just like shows your true personality
Mm-hmm.
when anyone calls you out as a manager, when anyone calls you out, when anyone challenges you, or anything like that. You're spreading false information to people to not make them want to work with you, to sort of back yourself up so
Mm-hmm.
that you have sort of an alliance.
And for what? Because you're bored.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why people go out of their way to talk about people.
I don't either.
No.
Because it creates a toxic work environment, and then they always are the ones saying, which this I agree with, chemistry is really hard to find. Like
Yeah.
in relationships and friendships behind a bar, you have to, if you don't have instant chemistry, like there's 4 of us at the speakeasy that we flowed so well all fucking winter long,
Mm-hmm.
all winter long. And then when you walk in with new people and you don't click instantaneously, like there's a couple of the new people that joined our staff that I clicked with right away.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's some where, you know, you're not going to like everybody you meet. You're not going to click with everybody immediately. It takes time, but you build that chemistry.
Exactly.
But how do you build that chemistry if you have an already rocky foundation?
Right.
Because of something that a manager said or somebody else said.
Mm-hmm.
And I take accountability for that too. I didn't like somebody and I was like, I don't like her and this is why, blah, 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 blah. And I ran my mouth. And I will continue to do so probably if I don't like you and if you cross me. But that's also toxic because you're not giving this person a chance.
Mm-hmm.
Let people form their own ideas about this person and let them find out for themselves. The garbage takes itself out. We saw that with a very recent manager who I despised. Like, I don't want to be hateful. I don't want to have hate in my heart. But he was after specifically Nia and I, and then another bartender, like saying like, I'm going to make an ultimatum that if these 3 don't get fired, I'm leaving. And again, essentially, the garbage took itself out. He was there for 3 or 4 months, and that's caused so much chaos. I think what people tried to do is rip the bartenders apart. And what I'm really proud of our staff is that we don't really let that happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was for a long time, and I think it still is a little bit. It's more quieter now. Like, things aren't as tense, but it's very much managers versus bartenders, and I hate that. I really genuinely do, but I am thankful that we have each other to talk to, the group chat to talk to, like, and we know that that is a safe place. Like, I feel very safe within my staff, within my coworkers.
Yeah.
So, but it's hard.
And the funny thing about that is to go to your manager when you know that your ass is on the line and say, oh, it's either all 5 of them or me. Oh, bye.
Yep.
Peace, bro. Like,
they can't fire all of us.
I was like, really? Because the way that he went about it was that he said he was going to go to corporate and say, I want all 5 of them fired. I'm like, with no evidence against these bartenders, what are you going to say to them, to the corporate team? You're going to be like, oh, they were mean. I want them gone.
They bullied me.
Exactly. They're going to be like, oh, you know, like no one's going to be upset. No one's upset for you, bro. Like,
do you have any texts of us sending you any texts?
You
any
have
harassment?
no evidence.
Nothing.
And the crazy thing is, he would be in the front desk area. And I think this is part of the reason he got fired. He would go into the front desk area where the cameras are and would try to find any sort of incriminating evidence against the bar staff and against the servers. If you have nothing to back up your supposed allegations, what do you really, you know what I mean?
Wild. There was that one night, it was still during the Halloween pop-up bar, that I was working with one of our guy coworkers in the speakeasy, and it was just the two of us. And 9 o'clock hit, and we got our asses whooped. We were getting like just bombarded with guests here and there. We loved it. We were rocking it. Like, we're very strong bartenders. We're both from New England. We're like, you know, we had the sass. We got it done. But there's no managers to be found. Like, I had to run out, change kegs. I had to run out, get more juice, like stuff like that. And I found out the front desk manager tried to come to the bar, but it was so busy that she couldn't even get through to talk to me. She sent me a message on my phone, and she said, hey, I don't know if you're drinking or not, but don't do anything. And then I saw it, and I was like, I'm confused. You know, I didn't really think much of it. And then she told me that said manager was in the front desk area watching for an hour and a half. An hour and a half watching our every move. Now, I'm directly where I was on the well where the camera was directly above me. So you can see everything. You could, if I was on my phone texting, you could probably see who I'm texting, what I'm texting. It's very clear from what I was told. And I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't drinking. You know, I wasn't anything incriminating, whatever. Just literally was trying to watch us in case. And I think that is wild behavior. That's crazy. Wild. Like, and I thought my job was on the line. I thought that I was done. And so even though I didn't do anything on said day, or honestly any time that he worked, I was on my best behavior because he was after us. Like, you and me and then another. Like, specifically, he would make enemies. And it wasn't even, like you said, it wasn't our department. It was almost every department he found somebody to have a problem with. And it was really tense. I hated coming to work. Even though I got to see my homies, you know, I was excited because it's like fun when you work with your people. But I was like nervous, you know, when you have to go on to work and you feel like you're on thin ice for no reason. Right. It's not a good environment. There's the rocky foundation.
And you would think that as a manager or even just as a person, if you have this many problems in this many departments, don't you think you're the problem?
Yeah.
And you for real thought that, oh, there's this many problems. All these people are the issue. All these people are the problem. No, bro, it's just you.
It's giving Lululemon.
It is just you. Wow. I was blown away when people told me that he was trying to get multiple of us fired. So once again, I'm very glad that he's gone. I hope he finds peace in whatever he does.
He needs therapy really, really bad. Like, I can give you a good therapist. Just hit me up. I don't have your number, and I probably did block it if I did have it. Right. But listen, email me. I will send you to a good therapist. Virtual, baby. I got you. But you need therapy bad. You probably need hypnosis. You need to go under hypnosis, and you need to be told something, because this other shit, this dark shit ain't working for you.
No.
It was demonic. It was.
So in our previous episodes, we talked about how it's very rare for anyone local in Nashville to venture down to Broadway, just because it is a very, it's a tourist trap. It's always where your bachelorette parties are going to be, and your birthday parties and all that is going to be down there. So it's very rare that you're going to catch someone like us down there. So it's funny that when we're working, people will come in, tourists specifically will come in and be like, oh, well, like, what's the best place on Broadway to go? Because we're going to go down to Broadway. We just wanted to know which. I'm like, honestly, they're kind of all the same.
Yeah.
I was like, you go down there, you're going to find, your cup of tea. But I was like, I don't know, like nudies. Everyone goes to Jason Aldean's.
Yep.
You know,
Whiskey Row.
exactly.
Yep.
And they're like, oh well, I'm another thing that I always ask. I'm like, well, what kind of music are you looking for?
Mhm.
Are you looking for like a good cover band? Are you looking for a DJ? Are you looking for like hip hop? Because I kind of have an idea when it comes to that. But recently, we had a pretty bad snowstorm here.
Yeah.
And you know, when we have snowstorms, we always get ice. It's always thick layers of ice on the road. And when that happens, they shut down everything. Everything is closed. All the stores are closed. All the restaurants are closed. And so a lot of us got trapped at the hotel. And I was one of those people. And so I had been I'd been getting cabin fever the entire time that I was stuck because I was there for like 2.5 days.
It's like COVID all over again.
It was bad like that. And everything is closed. You're trying to find something that's open because you gotta eat. I don't want to eat hotel food all the time. So my friend, she messaged me and was like, hey, do you want to go get dinner? I was like, yeah, let's go over and have dinner. We went to this really nice steakhouse and it was earlier in the night. And I asked her, I'm like, okay, so what do you want to do after this? And she was like, oh, let's go to Broadway. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, honestly, it's okay because there's a lot of snow on the road. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's a lot of ice on the road. And so there's not going to be a lot of people out.
Right.
It's low capacity in all the hotels. So obviously there's not a lot of people in Nashville. So I was like, you know what? Rare occasion, we can go to Broadway. And she wanted to go to Tootsie's specifically because her friend works there. And I think I'd only been to Tootsie's maybe one other time. And so we get there, we see her friend on the second floor. And then we go up to the top floor. And when I tell you, because we had been to multiple places this night, everywhere was dead. Everywhere was dead. When I tell you Tootsie's was packed to the brim with people, Tootsie's had so many people in there. I'm just like, I'm dumbfounded. I'm like, where did all these people come from? They were all up there drinking. There was a cover band up there. Like, it was like busy. And so, you know, at first I'm sort of like in my Broadway mindset where I'm like, okay, I don't want to be here. Let's just count the minutes until we go. And then we run into this group of guys. There's like 13 guys, like no joke, 13 guys. And they were in from South Carolina and they were cutting through because they were going on a duck hunting trip.
Oh, Jesus.
And so these guys they were all fun. Like every single one of them was fun. Like they're buying us drinks. And at this point, because I'm like a few drinks into the evening, I'm actually enjoying Broadway. And I it's very rare that I will say that I enjoy Broadway, but that night it was so much fun. Like I'm dancing with like every single one. You would have thought I was a swinger the way that I was bouncing from guy to guy, just like dancing with them. And then it was like really fun. And the evening kept going on. And then we started at Tootsie's and moved over to Kid Rock's and we're just doing the same thing, dancing, drinking over there. And then I don't know why I decided to walk them back to their hotel. I mean, we were just like vibing. On the way to the hotel, my heel broke. And so I slip on the ice, but I'm unfazed because I'm like tipsy at this point. And I'm just like, I'm like, whoa, it's okay. I'm having a good time. And so I walked them back to their hotel. And then me and my friend walked back to our hotels. But I was like, I weirdly enjoy this time because it's like you're meeting these people that you're never gonna see again
ever again,
and it's just like you're living in the moment. So it was like, dang, I kind of understand why people like Broadway.
Yeah,
but it took me this long because I had such a mindset that I was like, ugh, okay, no, absolutely not. But I also don't think that something like that would happen again where it's like I meet this giant group of guys with my friend and then we're all just having fun and there's literally nothing that's going to come from it.
Right.
You know, no one's like hitting on me. No one's doing it. It's just like fun. So
good vibes and good times.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. I think the thing with Broadway is like, I always think it's a bad idea, which it is. No matter what, it's a bad idea. But then you go and it's like a black hole. Like you get sucked into it.
Yeah.
But you end up 9 out of 10 times having a good time. Like even though you feel like fucking asshole the next day, I am dying. I am hungover, even if I didn't really drink that much in Natalie's standard. You're still, I don't know, you still like wake up and you're like, that was a good time.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think like now when people ask me what my favorite bar is, I'm not a country person. I don't like country music.
Mhm.
I'm not into that. So I like Casa Rosa's. Like
Casa Rosa is fun.
it's fun because
Yeah.
they got the DJ, they got the music, they have like you could dance, like it's a good time.
Mhm.
But I mean, they're all they. Once you've seen one, we've said this before, you've seen them all.
Yeah.
But I mean, everyone has their favorite, which is different from everybody else's.
Mhm.
It's funny, but I don't know. You like everybody in Nashville. Something that I like about that Broadway scene, whatever, is something I'm used to when I would go up to the bars up north. Is even when I went in South Carolina and then North Carolina, like people are itching to fight. Like people are drinking heavy and fighting.
Yeah.
In Broadway, in Nashville, like I don't really see fights like that.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I'm not in the right fighting place, but like I don't really see people beefing that hard or like getting mad at each other or things like that, which is cool. I think people really come to Nashville to have a good time.
Yeah. You know
And
where I
that's it.
see the most fights happen? Not on Broadway, but in Printer's Alley. I don't know what it is about like Printer's Alley, but someone is always having a yelling match. There's
Yeah,
always
that's
a
true.
fight, or there's always just some sort of like scuffle that's about to
Mhm.
happen. Someone's getting mugged out there. I don't know what it is about
Right in
Printer's
front
Alley.
of Daddy's dogs.
Exactly, yeah.
Why are you doing that to Daddy Dog?
Exactly. I don't know what it is about Printer's Alley, but
Yeah.
maybe because I haven't ventured out too much into Broadway, I really don't know what happens down there. But if for some reason, every time like I'm leaving the hotel, something just happened, like there was a fight that broke out or something like that.
Yeah.
It's always over petty stuff, but
Very.
I don't know why Printer's Alley is just the prime place to get in a yelling match with somebody. So
Yeah, I don't know either because there are a lot of like security guards.
Mhm.
There's cameras. There's like very big name hotels that are like more they're not like your you have like your dive bars there on Printer's Alley,
Right.
but they're more like you have more of your cocktail lounges too,
yeah,
which I don't know. It's so that's strange to me too. Yeah, Printer's Alley is I love my Printer's Alley. My grungy little area. I love it.
it's fun. It's like that's probably where you're gonna find if you are gonna find locals anywhere downtown. They're probably in Printer's Alley.
Yeah.
Because it's like there's something for everyone over there. Like
Mhm.
everyone's gonna venture over to like Alley Taps or like Fleet Street, somewhere that's gonna have like cheap cocktails
Yup.
or like cheap drinks, cheap beer, all that. So that's probably where you're going to find people that look like us down there. So
Yeah. But I do have to say, if you are looking for a cool cocktail lounge on Broadway, like you're already there, Pushing Daisies is a
Mhm.
really cool underground tequila bar. They have amazing cocktails, amazing. But I will say that one time, our first time going there, when we were like trying to discover new places or whatever, and
Yeah.
we went and it was like daytime and we got to like vibe with the bartender, it is a completely night and day literally experience when nighttime hits.
Hmm.
It's like the girls in there like bikinis like doing the light it's not bikinis but doing like the holding the light signs and all that stuff. It gets crazy up in there.
See, I've not seen it at night. I haven't seen
It's crazy. It's crazy. I definitely preferred it during the day. But
Yeah. Because it's more like intimate. It's more like an actual lounge feel.
yes,
Like-
I love it. We are so thankful for y'all still supporting us during our hiatus. I have had people ask about, when we're releasing episodes, so that just means that y'all do like listening to us, y'all support us, and we cannot thank you enough, and we do apologize for the hiatus, but
We're back. We're back.
Guess who's back? Back. It's us, bitch. We're back. And we will get on a better schedule. We will be still releasing episodes every 2 weeks on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Wait, hump day. Yep. We're going to be doing that. So, catch us on Nia, take it away.
So as you know, our handle is Full Figured Official. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter. You can view us on YouTube and listen to us streaming wise on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Music soon. That's coming, and then iHeartRadio.
So you can find us anywhere. Honestly, we love to do our part. We love to have you. We love to see you guys tuning in and reacting. And we love to see you in our merch. So wear your merch and tag us.
Yeah. And that's what I will say, of the surprise that's coming in February. It has something to do with our line of merch.
It's a surprise for me too. I have no fucking idea what's going on.
Keep an open eye out for that. But once again, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for riding with us this long. And once again, we raise our drinks.
I'm sober.
She's sober.
Sorry. I'm much better when I'm not.
That's okay.
I told you, but I'm sober right now. So I'm going to drink my Wawa.
That's all right. We will catch you in the next episode, guys. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you soon.
Artlist.io.
I just wanna have fun. Come and pick me up.